Hello, everybody. Welcome back to English class. I hope everybody's okay. I hope you're all staying inside and staying safe. Okay. Um, but we do need to continue with English and with everything else. All right. So let's go. Excellent. All right. First, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our pupils' books and we're going to open up to page 55, okay, which is this page here. All right. Language in use. All right. Now, before we get onto exactly what we'll be doing today, we've got a couple of warm-up questions. All right. So the topic was about health and medicine and things. So just a couple of things to think about, just to get your brains engaged. So what are some common treatments for illnesses like colds, stomach aches, etc.? So how do you treat a cold? Yeah, if you have a runny nose and a sore throat, how do you treat a cold? What's a common treatment? Maybe something that you get at the pharmacy, like ibuprofen or paracetamol. And what about for a stomach ache? How do you treat a stomach ache? Maybe drinking water, going to the toilet. Do you know any less common treatments? Any strange treatments that people use for colds or for stomach aches? Sometimes when we have a cold in the UK, we make a drink, like a hot drink, hot water with lemon and honey, and some other things. And sometimes we use that to treat a cold. Okay, and that's kind of like that's not as common, but some people do it. Okay, everybody has different ways of treating a cold. All right. Anyway, just a couple of things to think about. So today, what shall we do? All right, today we're going to look at word formation. Okay, now you may have done this before. All right, but it's very, very important because one, it not only helps you communicate in a better way and to help you be more sort of dynamic with the language, but it's also useful because it's something that they test in the official Cambridge exams in the first certificate. Okay. So once you know how to do it, I think it's fairly easy. So there's no excuse not to get top marks on this exercise. Okay. So let's have a look exactly. So what are we doing? We are changing the form of words. Okay. So changing a noun into an adjective, changing an adjective into an adverb, changing an adverb into a verb into a noun. Okay. And we do this in different ways, okay? And I'll explain now. So if we can open our notebook, okay, go to our notebook, and we are going to write the title Word Formation, okay? And the date is Thursday, the 26th of March, 2020, all right? Now, you can copy this in your notebook, okay? Not very many notes today. All right. So word formation helps us change words and make nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs, okay? The four main types of word. Okay, so the way we do this by changing words is by adding either a prefix or a suffix, okay? Now, if you don't know, a prefix are some letters that go at the beginning of a word, all right? And I've marked those in green, okay? And a suffix is some words that go at the end of a word, all right? So those are in red, all right? So the way you change a word is by using prefixes and suffixes, okay? Let's look at an example, all right? Now, remember, you can copy this in your notebook, okay? How many words can we make from the word perfect, okay? So let's have a look, okay? Now, the bits in green are prefixes and the bits in red are suffixes, okay? So let's have a look. From perfect, we can make imperfect, the opposite, that's an adjective. Perfectly, which is an adverb. Imperfectly, right, which is the opposite adverb. Oh, and there's a prefix here, which I forgot to put in green. Let's do that now. Okay. Perfection, which is the noun. And imperfection, which is the opposite noun. Okay. So I've just changed the word by using the prefix im right? Or the suffix ion or li, right? Now, if it's to make an adverb, we always use this suffix, okay, on an adjective. All right. So that's how we can change a word and make many different words, okay? So copy this down in your notebook. Now, for you, I want you to try it yourself, okay? Except I want you to use the word happy, all right? So how many words can you make with the word happy? Okay. So have a go and write them all down in your notebook, okay? Remember, you can pause the video if you need time. Okay, all finished? Excellent. Okay, let's go back to our pupils book. Now, we can read what it says in the box because it's always useful advice. Some nouns end in ity, right, like popularity. Some nouns end in ness, right, like illness. Others end in ment, ation, or eon. Okay, so basically these are, I'll highlight them, all right? So these are the different suffixes that we can use to make nouns, okay? And we're just going to focus on a couple today, all right? So, right, different endings for nouns. Sometimes in the final E, sometimes the final E stays, okay? There's some exceptions, all right? But so we have the word improve, all right? And we keep the word, and we keep the E and we say improvement, all right? But sometimes the E doesn't stay, all right? So another example of this would be the word organize, and we have organization, right? And we take away the E. So, well, this information is kind of useless because it says sometimes you keep the E and sometimes you don't keep the E, all right? So you just have to know the word, basically, like a lot of things in English. Sometimes you have to change other letters too. This is also important, okay? But unfortunately, it is specific on the word, all right? So it's a question of practice. The more you use words, okay, writing and speaking, all right, the better you will get to know them and how to change them and how to use them. Okay, so let's have a go, all right? So here we have a bunch of verbs, okay? And what we have to do is make nouns, okay? So all we have to do is either put this suffix or this suffix, all right? So we have a couple of examples: agree, agreement, accommodate, accommodation, okay? Now, try and do this on your own, okay? And write the word in the correct box, all right? Now, if you're not sure which suffix to use, say it to yourself and see if it sounds familiar, okay? All right, have you finished? Let's check our answers. All right, let's have a look. So, agreement, amazement, enjoyment, entertainment, equipment, excitement, improvement, treatment. And then here we have accommodation, communication, decision, infection, operation, organization, prescription, and protection. Okay, very good, everybody. And make sure you have all the words written correctly in the correct column. Fantastic. All right, so before we do the actual exercise, okay, which is here, we're going to have a quick read. Okay, now we're going to read it without sort of paying attention to the words that we have to use here. All right, the reason we're doing this is to get the gist of it, which is to get the main idea. All right, again, it helps our brains get in the correct sort of mode before we do the exercise. All right, so let's have a quick read. All right, just to yourself. All right, just very, very quickly. It's about music therapy. Interesting. Okay. Good. Have you finished reading? Remember, you can pause the video if you need time. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so now we have 4 questions that I would like you to highlight in the text and then answer in your notebook as well. Okay, so if we go to the notebook, all right, you can see you can make the heading page 55, exercise 3. All right, and we've got 4 questions to answer. All right, we don't have to copy the questions, okay, because we're going to answer in full sentences, okay? But first, let's highlight the answers in the text, okay? What examples of music therapy does the text mention? Examples of music therapy. Okay, so I'll get a highlighter. So it talks about music therapy. What examples? Let's read here. She's receiving music therapy, which involves, oh, here we go, writing lyrics, making recordings, and watching music videos. Sounds like an interesting piece of therapy. Okay, good. Good. Let's have a look at the next one. In what ways can music therapy help? Let's continue reading. A music therapist says it helps. Here we go. It helps reduce stress, which helps her body heal faster. Very good. Which of the words in capitals on the right is not a verb? Do you know which of these words is not a verb? This one, ill. What type of word is ill? It's an adjective. Yeah, if you're ill, you have an illness. A lot of people have an illness these days. Okay. Last question. Which gap needs a plural noun? Okay, so which gap needs a plural noun? Have a look and see. Oh, how about here? Because it says these aren't the only. So if it's these, it's plural. Yeah, these are. Okay, good. Let's write our answers correctly in the notebook, okay? Now that we've highlighted them in the text. Just practice for understanding. So the first question was, what examples of music therapy does the text mention? So you can say, start a sentence, examples of music therapy are, let me put my X here, and then we have the answers highlighted here. Okay, so you can write the answers in. Second question was, in what ways can music therapy help? Okay, so we can answer this. We say music therapy helps, and then again, we have the highlighted answers here. Okay, so you can do that. Which of the words in capitals on the right is not a verb? Okay, so think of the word. All right. Well, I gave you the answer before. Okay, which was the answer was ill. So say ill is not a verb. It's an adjective. Okay, I'll put little quotation marks here so we know that's the word we're talking about. All right, ill is not a verb, it's an adjective. Okay, good. And the last one, which gap needs a plural noun? Okay, so say gap 3. Gap 3 needs a plural noun. Right? Okay, so just to complete with the answers from the first two questions, examples of music therapy are writing lyrics, making recordings, and watching music videos. Writing lyrics, making recordings, and watching music videos. Make sure you get the correct answer. I'll highlight it here. So I'll put this in red. Right, so that's the answer. Okay, what does music therapy help? It says here it helps reduce stress, which helps the body heal faster. Music therapy helps reduce stress, which helps the body heal faster. Okay, I'll put that in red. I'll put all the actual answers in red. Okay. All right, good. So you should have the answers written down in your notebook. All right, just like this. Good. Okay, so now I think we're ready to do the exercise. All right, now let's just have a look at the information here. It says always read the text all the way through before filling the gaps. For each gap, ask yourself what kind of word you need. If you need a noun, is it singular, plural? Is it positive or negative? Okay. So, from my experience, when you do this exercise, it's easy to guess the type of word that you need. Okay. So, you know, here you need to have a noun. Okay. But where people always make mistakes is with this third point here. Is it a singular noun or a plural noun? And is it a positive noun or a negative noun? Right? If the word is perfect, do you say perfection or imperfection? Right? Positive or negative? This is what you have to pay attention to, okay? Because a lot of people get the right type of word, but they're not paying attention to the context of the writing, okay? And so they make stupid mistakes like not putting it in plural or putting a positive noun instead of a negative noun, or vice versa. Okay, so it's important to pay attention and understand what you're reading as you do this exercise. Okay, right. Shall we have a look? Okay, so read through, think what type of word you need. Okay, is it a positive or negative, singular or plural? Okay, now, what you have to do if you're not sure of the instructions, okay, for each gap, you have to use the word at the side here. So you have to make a word using this word. Now, the word in the gap will not be the same, okay? It's never the same. So you have to change something, all right? Now, we can do the first one all together, okay? All right, so let's think. Says, if you're sick, the doctor might give you a for some medicine, right? And we have the word prescribe. So it says right? So now I need a noun here. So what's the noun for prescribe? Okay. Now we might even actually have it in our books. All right. All right. So have a look. How do we make the noun? Is it a positive noun or a negative noun? Positive. Is it plural or singular? Well, it says so it must be singular. So the answer is prescription. Okay. Did you get that? Prescription. Good. All right. Now, continue with the rest of the exercise on your own, please. Okay, and you can pause the video. All finished? Excellent. Let's check our answers. Okay, so we'll read through. If you're sick, the doctor might give you a prescription for some medicine. If you're very ill, you might need an operation to get better. But these aren't the only treatments. Okay, so there we have a plural noun, remember? Sometimes music can help us to recover. Doctors now know that music isn't just about entertainment. Millie, 15, is recovering from a very serious illness. Okay, we saw this word earlier in the class. She's receiving music therapy, which involves music writing, making recordings, watching music videos. Her music therapist says it helps reduce stress, which helps her body heal faster. Some children and teenagers have problems with communication. They find it difficult to express themselves. Music can really help them too. Even if they don't want to speak, they often get a great enjoyment from singing because of music. There's often an improvement in other parts of their lives too. Okay? So all of the words here, okay, if you noticed, are nouns. Okay? We made nouns, all right? And they all use either the eon or ment suffix, apart from this word, illness, okay? But they were all nouns, so that one's easy, okay? Did you get them all correct? Let's have a look. Yes, of course you did. 100%, just like always. Fantastic students. Okay, very good. All right, so let's continue with our practice, all right, in the workbook. All right, so now we're going to go to the workbook. Okay. And we're going to go to page 41. All right. And we've got 3 exercises to do. Okay. So the first exercise, all right, you have some of the words we've seen today. Look at the word, okay, and you have to tell me if it's spelled correctly or not. All right. If it's spelled correctly, you can put a tick. If it's not spelled correctly, correct it, okay, and write the correction next to it. All right. Now, if you're not sure, right, you can always use your books or the internet, okay, to find out. All right. But try and do it from memory, okay? Think, does the word look okay? All right. Correct the words that are spelt incorrectly. All right. You can pause the video as well. Have you finished? Excellent. Let's look at the answers. All right. So we'll go through each one. Accommodation. It's not like this. It should be like this. Agreement. That's okay. It should be a tick. Amazement. Should be with an E. Amazement. Communication. Yep, that one's good. Decision. That doesn't look correct. Decision, like this. Enjoyment. Doesn't look good to me. Enjoyment. Entertainment. I think that's wrong as well. Entertainment. Equipment. That's good. Excitement. Okay, we need to put the E here. Illness. Double S at the end. Improvement. We need to keep the E here in improvement. Infection. That's spelled correctly. Operation. Okay. It should be like this. Organization. Okay. Prescription. Protection. And treatment was spelled correctly. Okay, so here are our answers. Make sure you've got all the correct answers in your activity book, okay? Shall we check our score? Yes. Perfection. Okay, now, on your own, okay, I'd like you to use these words, right, and put them, well, you only have 6 gaps to fill, okay? So, but they're all words from exercise 1, okay? So read through the text, all right, and put the correct word from exercise 1, all right, and you can pause the video. All finished? Okay, let's check our answers. All right, I'm just going to put the answers on the screen. Okay, so 1, accommodation, 2, entertainment, 3, organization, 4, equipment, 5, protection, and 6, decision. Okay, make sure you have all the correct answers in your activity book. And our last exercise, okay, so very similar to the one we did before. All right, now this is the one that matters. All right, this is the one that we have in the exam. So remember, all right, read it through first. And then when you read again, each gap, check what type of word you need, a noun, a verb, an adjective, or an adverb. Is it plural, singular? Is it positive or negative? Okay. I'll leave you to do this on your own. All right, so pause the video and do this exercise. Okay, all finished? Now we can check our answers. Okay, good. All right, so again, I'll just put them up on the screen. All right, so 1, prescription, 2, treatment, 3, infection, 4, operation, 5, improvement, 6, communication, 7, enjoyment, and 8, agreement. Okay, how did you guys do? I'm sure you got 100% like you always do. Okay. Yay, there it is. All right. All right, good job, guys. Now, Pay attention to spelling, okay, and plurals and things like this. All right. But I think it's fairly straightforward, and I'm sure you guys can all understand and do it very well. All right. So that'll be it for today and for this week. I hope everybody has a good weekend. All right. Remember, stay safe, stay clean, stay at home. Okay. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll see you next week for more online English classes. Bye bye.